Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, the inability of the Yoruba people to agree on anything or to converge under one opinion is our greatest undoing. For every two Yoruba people, there are three different opinions and nobody is going to give way, and this is the thing that undoes us the most. Contrast that with the northerners, the Malamis, the Fulanis, etc. They find it very easy to converge behind one singular voice and push that voice as their will and the want of their people. We saw how they are aligned behind Buhari in spite of what is happening, especially in Borno State and places like that, that they refused to come out for the NSAS protest, and that protest just petered out because it wasn't getting the northern support. So the northerners are having it just as bad, if not worse, than the southerners within the Nigerian space. But for the fact that their own person is in the first seat, the driving seat of the country, they just converge behind that and hope to God. So this is their own way and this is their singular strength. But in the southern regions amongst the Yorubas and by some extension the Igbos, the inability to yield to another man or to concede anything is our greatest failing, our Achilles heel. Guys, I bring you this. I am a progressive. Obasanjo is not, says Gani Adams. So this speaks exactly to what I said prior. This is Gani Adams now not willing to give way to Obasanjo, and Obasanjo of course would not give way to Gani Adams. So this now infighting amongst these two elements now, who are foremost prominent names within the Yoruba race, this infighting now is now preventing that singularity of opinion that the Yorubas can coalesce behind, because for these two people you can add a different set of 200 type people as well, who are very singular in their opinion and are not willing to give way. So this is the thing that holds us back the most. As again, I am a progressive, Obasanjo is not, says Gani Adams. So now let's now find out exactly what he means by this. The Are Ona Kakanfo of Yoruba land, Are Gani Adams, has said there is no way he could have the same character with former President Olusegun Obasanjo, because whilst he is a progressive, Obasanjo is not. Adams was reacting to a statement credited to Obasanjo that his, that is Adams, past ways negated his principles and standard. Adams, who is also the national coordinator of the Oduduwa People's Congress, was arrested during Obasanjo's administration by the police for alleged violence in some parts of the country linked to his group. But Obasanjo, after last Wednesday media reports that a reconciliatory meeting between him and Adams was held in the Lagos residence of a leader of the Yoruba group, Afenifere, Chief Ayo Adebanjo, said his visit was not for a reconciliatory meeting. He had said in a statement, "I have no quarrel with Gani Adams, but for his past way of life, which was not in accord with my standard and principles. I have in the past, both in government and out of government, refused to grant Gani's request to visit me." In his reaction during a press conference on Wednesday, Adams said, "I don't know what Baba Obasanjo meant by my past way of life. I agree with him that we don't have the same character because he is not a progressive. I have never at any time requested to visit Obasanjo. I initially didn't want to attend the meeting when Chief Ayo Adebanjo told me, but I decided to honor the invitation because Chief Adebanjo is one of Yoruba's elders I respect. If Obasanjo is not given a say in any government, he will be an enemy of that government. Can you name any progressive group that Obasanjo belongs to?" At the meeting on Wednesday at Chief Adebanjo's house, we discussed about the 2023 general elections. He said in his statement that whoever feels he needs a reconciliatory meeting with him should come to his residence in Abeokuta. I don't have the need for any reconciliatory meeting with him. I cannot even go to his house. Adams further described the ex-president as an international figure whose claims could be taken as true if he refused to address the matter. He added, Obasanjo rode into power to fight progressive elements and continue to fight the progressives even outside of government. So two prominent Yoruba names are completely divergent views, several generations apart, in fact, because Obasanjo is well into his 80s, and I think Gani Adams is early mid 50s thereabout, but nevertheless, you can't be more different than these two set of people. So now, how does the Yoruba interest now progress under this sort of a situation is really where the question is, because of course somebody of the status of Chief Ayo Adebanjo has felt the need to call these people to his house, and of course when he knows that these two elements are warring, Obasanjo that is and Gani Adams, so when he knows that these two elements are warring and is inviting them to his house, then there can only be one intent behind that invitation, and that is to reconcile the two of them. So when that meeting took place, and that meeting was covered on this channel, I did a video on it. When that meeting took place, there were all sorts of like conciliatory, concessionary, togetherness language coming out of the back of that meeting. But as soon as these people got back to their bases, Obasanjo to Abeokuta and Gani Adams to wherever he lives, they reverted to type again and started to throw brickbats at each other. Obasanjo, of course, a very unforgiving man and a man very settled in his own mind, and he has this thing that if he doesn't like you, he doesn't like you, and even if he likes you, whenever he sees the cameras, he has this need to prod and prod at people. So that prodding and prodding, of course, that Obasanjo does often elicits a comeback from whoever is prodding at, and this is what we're seeing again playing out in this particular instance. But then of course when two elephants fight, as the saying goes, the Yoruba interest is now again put back in the back burners, because of course if that meeting had been allowed to be successful by these two elements, more especially Obasanjo, who is usually the progenitor of any yawa that is going on, any wahala that is going on, you just look under the surface, you will see the name and the face of Obasanjo there, a verilous troublemaker at 80-something still. So if that meeting had been allowed to be successful, the next stage then is to be speaking to the singularity of a Yoruba voice and a Yoruba position. So it is that singularity of voice and purpose that Ayo Adebanjo, Chief Ayo Adebanjo Pa Ayo Adebanjo had in mind to attempt to reconcile these people. It's not as though he's vested particularly in their relationship, but he is vested in the progression of the Yoruba race. And the progression of the Yoruba race, of course, is better served if the leader of the OPC and the Are Ona Kakanfo, and by the way, I don't even know how Gani Adams got that big a title within Yoruba kingdom, within the Yoruba race, but that is an aside, because it doesn't strike as having the gravitas to carry that weighty title, but we leave that to one side. That is nevertheless the title that it does carry, the Are Ona Kakanfo of Yoruba land. So two people of that status, the Are Ona Kakanfo of Yoruba land, and a former two-time president and a former military ruler at that as well, because I think Obasanjo is actually the longest serving in totality of a number of years Nigerian president that there has ever been. I'm not sure if whatever his name is, Malam Buhari, is going to be able to overtake him if he does complete his tenure, but as it stands, Obasanjo is the longest serving Nigerian president that there has ever been. If you add up his civilian years plus his military years, and then you're going on in excess of 10 years thereabout. So somebody of that status and the Are Ona Kakanfo, you would expect that if those two voices converge, the interest of the Yoruba race is even better served. But as I said, wherever there are two Yoruba people, there are usually three opinions because nobody is ever going to give way in Yoruba land. And this is our greatest undoing, our Achilles heel. And this is the thing that the Malamis especially use as a tool to continue to have dominion over us. Divide and rule, of course. And by the way, you know that Obasanjo has always been for the Northerners anyway, so he would never really move too aggressively to serve Yoruba interest. Conversations in the comment section, the Yoruba people are able to coalesce behind one singularity, and this is a big problem. What says you? Come share thoughts. But before you come share those thoughts, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, come join me in the comment section. Then come tell me what you're making of this now spat between Gani Adams and Obasanjo. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace.